Hello everyone, this is Red Robot, and I am happy to be here talking to you about the PHLOG nerf that came in today. Now, I'm not only going to be talking about the nerf, but also the kind of current general state of the PHLOG. It's gone through quite a few changes lately, especially following the ones in the Tough Break update. Now, I'm glad I kind of avoided talking about it. You guys have been wondering, well, where's the Pyro update video? The reason is because it's gone through so many changes lately, and I had no idea when the next one was going to come in. Hopefully, this is sort of the last little change we see to the PHLOG for a while. I feel like these stats are pretty fair, and they kind of balance the kind of pub fairness, the kind of competitive fairness kind of thing. I'll get into more of that later. Anyway, let's just talk about the stats. So, first of all, it's gone from 225 health to build a charge to 300. This is a massive nerf. If you think about it, that's nearly a 150% increase in damage needed. So over the course of like a long game, that's a ton of less PHLOGs. Now, this means that there's going to be longer intervals between PHLOG charges, which means that you're going to have to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more careful when you use them, unlike me. Now, it also means that there's more time spent with your secondary out. So, because the PHLOG charges aren't as readily available, it's going to be a lot more scorch shotting, a lot more detonating in order to get that damage, mini crits, and afterburn in order to build your charge up. In addition, this also gives your enemy more time to react. If you see there's an enemy pyro, just spamming his secondary all day, not doing too much with his flamethrower, you've got way more chance to take him out before he builds his charge, and that's really nice. I really like changes that kind of give the opponent more time to kind of counterplay, and this is definitely one of them. Probably the most important aspect of the weapon that this change nerfs is definitely the ability to chain PHLOGs together. Now before, when you only had to do 225 burn damage in order to build a charge, it was actually possible to get in there, do a bunch of damage, taunt, do a bunch more, then have enough fire damage afterwards, after the taunt ends, to do another one, and just continuously, again and again and again, burning people in an endless chain. Now this has definitely been nerfed. Getting 300 damage is a lot more difficult than getting 225, and the next change goes hand in hand with this to nerf the Pyro chain, PHLOG chain even more. And it is as follows. You no longer restore your health to full on a PHLOG taunt. This is huge. I mean, one of the most frustrating things players said about the PHLOG was that you could be fighting a PHLOG Pyro, you get him down to 10 health, right? He's about to die, he's done everything wrong, walked into all of your rockets, all of your grenades, and he taunts. Suddenly, bam, full health, the fight completely resets. And that combined with the invulnerability was really frustrating to play against. Now, the Pyro's taunt actually puts him at a far more vulnerable state. Think about it, if a Pyro PHLOG taunts with 20 health left, what does it matter that he has 3 seconds of invulnerability? He's going to die to the first person that looks at him after the taunt ends. This change is huge and really nerfs Pyro. You're going to have to be playing a lot more intelligently in order to do well. That's because you're going to have to be playing around health packs, you're going to have to be playing around medics, because as you can see here, 38 health, who cares? I'll just die instantly. I've got to run away, and that poor soldier gets taken out instead. Like I said before, this completely annihilates your ability to chain PHLOGs together. That's because, I mean, let's say you do a taunt, kill 2 or 3 people, right? You've got enough for a new one. Who cares? If you taunt again with 40 health, it doesn't matter that you have another bunch of crits ready. You're just going to die. The whole PHLOG chain has definitely been nerfed, hopefully to oblivion. And that's mainly because the PHLOG lacks air blast. Without an air blast, Pyro has no way to protect himself against huge sources of damage like grenades and rockets, and that means that really the only way Pyro can get kills with the PHLOG is simply by tanking damage as he walks forward. And any kind of nerf that reduces his health, like this one, will mean that his effectiveness with the PHLOG will be limited severely. And from what I've read and what I've heard so far, it seems like a lot of players kind of expressing their confusion over these changes to the PHLOG and Pyro in general. And I'll try to clear them up with a few of my theories. It's just my ideas as to why these changes happened in the first place. Alright, first of all, the PHLOG was really badly balanced in the lower skill levels in the game, meaning that against noobs, this weapon was so good. It was the ultimate pub stop weapon. It also had massive safety nets for anyone that used it. That full health gain on taunt allowed you to be really reckless and stupid. I mean, you could just run into battle at any time and instantly heal. And the ability to get crits by dealing damage, this kind of crit container mechanic, when you had bad players to build up charge against, was really, really strong and really, really unbalanced in that kind of lower level. Next, the damage resist was really, really good. And some people might find this kind of hard to understand. It's sort of not really obvious, but damage resist can actually be better than invulnerability. And how can that be? Surely being able to headshot, surely being able to to backstab the taunting Phlog pirate is better. Yeah, in most cases. But damage resist allowed you to do something you couldn't do with invulnerability, and that was capture objectives. It was really frustrating to deal with pyros doing things like Phlog taunting on top of the payload cart on the point, because they would be capturing it with like a massive damage resist, and it would be pretty much impossible to do anything. And if you want to do anything to interrupt that taunt, and that leads me on to the next point, the knockback immunity. In some cases, knockback immunity is actually worse than being able to be knocked back, because if you were knocked back in the middle of a Phlog taunt, you would start it prematurely, giving you more time to burn people. There's also the fact that not so good players would often just attack the taunting pyro and give him way more fuel for his Phlog than he ever needed. The removal of these safety nets and unbalanced mechanics also make it possible for a skilled Phlog pyro to really do better than an unskilled one. The need to manage your health, the need to manage your meter more, really makes that you kind of be able to shine better as a skilled player, and a not so skilled player will be punished more for their mistakes, which is always good. These changes also open up other classes to more methods of counterplay, and pretty much just make the Phlog, in general, in my opinion, a more balanced weapon overall. Now, if you love the Phlog or hate the Phlog or whatever, at least now you won't have to deal with as many Phlog charges, and you skilled Phlog players won't have to deal with, hopefully, the same kind of stigma that came along with the weapon before. Well, that's all I got for you right now. Leave your hate mail in the comments down below. Catch you guys next time.